for anyone who was worried about Scarlett's paintwork during the Christmas festivities, maybe there was nothing to worry about. She's fine. I mean, obviously, I wasn't worried or anything like that. And if you believe that, I have some magic beans I'd be interested in selling to you if you would spare me a couple of minutes of your time. Hello, and welcome to 20 Who Really Gives a Fuck? Just how I feel, to be honest, but for those that do care, Happy New Year and welcome to 2022 on Cardboard. Hi. That's about as enthusiastic as I can get about that. So, yes, hope everyone had a safe and happy New Year and all that, but it's now over with and this is the start of a new year here on the channel. And well, in order to start looking forward, we first of all have to look back over 2021 and have a brief moment as we bow our heads and think about all the rusted bolts and broken parts that we lost over the year in a nice and handy little montage. Scarlett is quite heavily damaged on the front. Front bumper is probably completely destroyed. I don't think that's savable. The new splitter that I fitted last year, that is also split into. It looks like someone's bust open her lip. The radiator is completely destroyed. Just fuck. I am so fucking angry right now and I need to calm down. I can't get angry. Kumbaya my lord and all that. Fucking well, that was one way to oh, there's definitely something in there. Just look at that. Oh, there you are. If I hold it flat, you can see it's totally caved in the middle. Yes! I just realised that sounds dreadfully wrong. Welcome to Cardboard After Dark. That is actually everything we need off this fucking thing. That went for quite the ride. No idea how long I've waited to do that. Let's try that again. Sounds more positive. In 3, 2, 1. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. That's just a fraction of it, and I got to the point where I thought I actually can't be bothered going through the rest of the year. That was all basically from Project Fox Repair, which if you haven't watched that series of videos, what's wrong with you? Go and watch them. They're brilliant. But yeah, it leads us nicely into the main thing I want to talk about, and the one big takeaway from 2021 for me personally with everything that surrounds Scarlett. It feels like we spent a lot of money to go absolutely nowhere, in all honesty. after filming the how much have I spent this year video, which I do enjoy doing, it is like a death by 1,000 cuts doing that video, but I do have a sort of perverse pleasure where I enjoy doing it. But after filming it, it's just sitting looking at it and thinking, it's a lot of money spent in the last year, and we literally went nowhere. There's no forward advancement in my eyes. Now, I know that there is certain things that we've done to Scarlett over the course of the year that have benefited her, like doing the rocker cover gasket, replacing the clutch, and obviously having to do all the repairs during Project Fox Repair, which, to be honest, is probably the biggest thing from 2021. It absolutely wiped out the plan, which is ironic because I'm now sitting doing a plan video for 2022. But I'm going to caveat it by saying, you know, this is all going to be hopes and dreams, because, quick story, basically before Project Fox Repair started, the night that I was out and the Fox Smash happened, I had actually filmed an entire video about what was coming up for 2021 and what we were going to do and the grand plan, and this is what's going to happen, and yes, we're going to go here, we're going to go there, Scarlett's going to have this, that, and the next thing. And then none of it happened. So I am very, very wary about actually doing that this year, because anything could happen, and that's what happened last year. It was literally everything went out the window. The only thing that Scarlett got in 2021 that was on the plan was a new catback. She was supposed to get the rest of the system done, but that didn't happen because we ran out of time and planning and money and everything. So yeah, that's just how I feel about 2021. It was just such a write-off when it came to doing anything that I actually wanted to do on Scarlett, and it annoys me because you think that's a lot of money to go nowhere, really. But I think in the grand scheme of things, as a learning process, it's good, because you realise that, well, it's not always going to go to plan. You know that anyway. You have to accept that when you buy a project car. But to that extent, no, where you basically lose a year's worth of planning for what you were going to do and how you were going to lay out your finances, it's a learning curve. So yeah, I think in the future it's going to just have to be a little bit more, what's the word you would use, loosey-goosey, I suppose, is probably the best way to put it, because in all honesty, I really don't want to go planning for anything too in-depth, especially, like, you know, looking down to, you know, August, September time. Let's not go that far into the future. Let's just stick to the here and now, which is January of 2022. So yeah, we'll not dwell on 2021 anymore. Let's just close that chapter. Oh, and quickly, remember, I kind of switched off there halfway through that. Doing like the rocker cover and all that was all good and well, because it means that Scarlett's got longevity. Same with the clutch and all that. I get that, but I do get that, but it just felt as if we've done a lot for nothing. Like, we're starting 2022 essentially where we started 2021. Now, when I say when we started 2021, literally this date, because I'm recording this on the 1st of January, and it was the 4th of January that the 3rd or the 4th of January that the Fox Smash happened, which is exactly when I was out filming this video for last year, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's one of those where basically I recorded that video at the start of January, and I'm going to record the same video today because we haven't really progressed anywhere. Nothing's happened, so it's just, I don't know if it's just a mentality thing. It mentally just makes me think, possibly that's all it is. But anyway, enough of the negativity. Let's look at the positives and move on to the dreaming of 2022. What are we going to do? Well, I have a list, and it's an extensive list, literally just for January, because I thought I'm going to write it all down. Basically, I'm going to split this part of the video up into two. We're going to talk about the mechanical stuff, and then we're going to talk about the driving stuff. So for the first couple of months of 2022, it's probably going to be mechanical video heavy on the channel because Scarlett currently is off the road. She doesn't have an MOT. Now, there are some people out there that might think about driving cars without MOTs. I ain't one of them. I'm not going to chance that ever, because as part of my job I need my license, and not just that, I love having my driver's license, so I don't want to lose it. It's, you know, part of my mental health, if you like, is that I have my license and I do this, all that stuff, so yeah, I would never risk it. But yeah, currently we can't go driving anywhere, so we have to do the fixes first before we get on to actually doing driving stuff. So what am I going to be doing? Well, again, pinch of salt with some of this, but the majority of it will all be happening pretty soon. First thing that I'm going to do is some of the jobs that I put off at the tail end of 2021. First up, I'm going to do the oil change because, well, in 2021, Scarlett got a new rocker cover gasket. She got new gearbox oil because she got a new clutch. She's also had essentially a coolant flush because of everything that happened with Project Fox Repair. So we've already done about 3/4 of a service on Scarlett over the course of 2021. The only things left now are the oil change, which I will be doing, and the fuel pump, which is buried somewhere deep in the bills behind the back wheels. So I'll get that done as well, because I don't know how long that's been on Scarlett, whether it was put on in 2006 when she was imported into the UK and then it's never been changed since. That's highly probable, to be honest. So we're going to get those two jobs done. Those will be the first videos, I think, that will go up in the next couple of weeks. Also, there is a hanger-on of a job from Project Fox Repair, believe it or not. There's one thing that I never done as part of the project. Now, obviously, anyone who's watched it will know, basically Scarlett did have a AC system that got smashed to bits when the Fox went through the front. So I removed the majority of it. I haven't removed something, is it the... It's not the HVAC, it's the... What do you call that? It's not the condenser. Whatever it is. There's an air feed pipe that comes in through there that's in behind the glove box. I didn't remove that because I was impatient and lazy and thought, to hell with that, I'm not doing it just now, we'll leave it. So that's another job that we're going to have to do, because I've got the big bit of pipe, it's like an accordion that sits, basically you just remove all the old gubbins that's in behind there in the dashboard, take all that out, put the new pipe in, and that's it. It's basically, we're lugging about dead weight, which, you know, something else I need to sort out this year, which that's nothing to do with Scarlett. But yeah, that's got to happen as well. Those are all like little niggly jobs that need to be done before Scarlett goes in for her MOT. Also, there is an issue with the fog lamp. And this really pisses me off, because that fog lamp, right, that I fitted at, must have been like November time at the end of 2020 when she was going in for MOT, because the fog lamp that was on her wasn't working and it was heavily corroded and I didn't like it anyway, so got that sorted. It was only on once, and once only throughout the entire year for the MOT, and that was it. I decided to test it a couple of weeks ago, thinking let's just check this is working before she goes in for MOT. Yeah, of course, it's not working. Jesus, it was used once, so we need to do some checks on that, because I don't know whether it's the bulb or if it's something to do with the wiring, because when the back box got fitted, I had to remove a hanger that's on the rear, and that's where the earthing for the fog lamp is. So I put it back on, but I'm not sure if I've tightened it up properly or if I need to clean it so that it's ground correctly. I'll check all that. We might make a video out of that, might not, just depends if I can fix it or not. We'll see what happens. That leads us on to the final thing that needs to be done before Scarlett goes in for MOT. The manifold and the cat. Now, There is a crack on the manifold apparently, and there is a leak at the cap. I've always wanted to change them anyway for stainless steel. That was 2021's plan. It's now been shunted into 2022. So I already have some of the funds sitting, but here's the dilemma. We're not going to talk about finances because we've already done the death by 1,000 cuts. We'll do it at the end of this year, but there is a manifold in particular that I want for Scarlet, and it's the Cobalt tuned stainless steel manifold that I want, but it's expensive. And when I say it's expensive, I mean no, it's expensive. For a manifold anyway, it's expensive. I really want that one because it's part of, you know, it's a Cobalt exhaust we've got on the rear. I would like it to be more or less an entire front to back stainless steel. It's Cobalt. Probably give me a headache, but you know, that's what I really want. That. But here's the thing. There is another style of manifold that you can get, which is quite a bit cheaper. In fact, I could get the sports cap and the manifold that's cheaper for less than it would cost for just the Cobalt manifold. So it really is a bit of a, I don't know what to do, because I want to get her back on the road as quick as I can, but it's a bit of a, I don't know what I'm going to do here. That is a little bit up in the air. I really want the Cobalt manifold. It's just a case of we might have to wait for that, so that will mean that there will be a gap where there's no content going up on the channel, because to be honest, right now I can do quite a few of the other little jobs that I've mentioned already, but then it would probably be mid-February or mid-March before I can actually fit the exhaust. And I don't know about you, but that's a heck of a long time to go without driving this car. A heck of a long time. That's ironic, like the same as Project Fox Repair. 3 months it should be off the road again. You're like, I don't want that, I really don't want that, and it's of my own doing this time, and it's like, I don't want that. So yeah, I mean, there's only, as far as I can tell, there's two major differences between the MX5 parts stainless steel exhaust and the Cobalt, the MX5 parts manifold and the Cobalt manifold. The main difference is that the lambda sensor is in the correct place on the Cobalt one, which for the money that you're paying, god damn, it should be in the right place. And the MX5 parts one sits way further back, so you need to extend your lambda sensor. I don't really want to do that. That's partly the reason why I'm thinking I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do it. But I've also read reviews of the MX5 parts exhaust from the manifold anyway, and quite a lot of them are saying that it's very tin rattly. That puts me off because I really love the bark and in the grill that's coming from the Cobalt back box that we've got on just now, and I really want to kind of not so much amplify it but deepen it, if you know what I mean, because I'll be honest, drive this car long enough when you're thrashing her about a bit, you know, being a wee bit rude with your gear selection, then yeah, you can start to get a bit of a headache from the noise. But I love it. It's addictive. So yeah, that's an argument that I'm still having with myself internally. Do we go all out, or do we just kind of save a bit of money and just get everything done quicker? I don't know. Let me know what you think yourself. But it's that thing of, I don't know. But yeah, that's basically what's coming up in the immediate future from a mechanical standpoint. In the long term, the rust, we need to deal with it. It's getting worse, so I'm going to need to start a fund. When I say fund, I mean I'm going to put money aside for it over time. It's probably not going to get done this year, but it's possible that it will be, if I can, I want to aim for the winter of next year, to get her off the road and get the rust cut out and get her under sealed so that she's good to go for many another year. I don't know how we'll broach that when we get there, because it's way down the line. Like I said earlier on in the video, I don't want to dwell too much on the future that far into it anyway. But that's part of the major plan, if you like. I've said it a million times, it's becoming a bit of a joke. It's like, oh yeah, the rust. But I don't want to become one of those guys that has, you know, shiny parts under it and shiny parts in the car, and yet the body is rusting round about it. I don't want to be one of those guys. I want the car to be as in good a condition as I can afford to be. So yeah, I want to get that dealt with. I think that needs to be dealt with before we start looking into engine upgrades. So yeah, that'll be, as I say, long-term plan. A few other things that we'll need to look into as well, but it comes down to what do I prioritise, because there's certain things on the interior here that we need to deal with. There are a few little knickknacks that I want to buy, because going back to the servicing side of things, obviously with the fact that I'm doing the oil change, the fuel filter, all that stuff, that basically means that Scarlett will have had a complete service, and at that point the only thing missing is the air filter, because that won't have been changed, and I don't know how long the one that's in has been on Scarlett. So I'm thinking about changing that as well. Ideally I would love a Jackson Racing air intake. I would love to have that on Scarlett, because that just completely removes the air intake away from the hot side of the engine and puts it at the front where it should be, and then Scarlett gets some extremely nice cold air to suck in. But a 1.8 Mark 1 MX5 Jackson Racing cold air intake, rare as hen's teeth. In fact, in the entire time I've owned this car, I've seen one listed for sale that you can buy from someone, and it was on eBay, and unfortunately I missed out on it. So yeah, if anyone's selling one, find me somehow and I'll buy it. I will just buy it, because currently, because Scarlett's not going to have any major engine modifications for at least the next 2 years, I would say, that one would be substantial enough for the interim. But yeah, that's those sorts of things. But yeah, that's essentially it for the mechanical side. The driving side of things, well, right now we can't do hee-haw, and this is partly what plays into what I was saying. I'm going somewhere towards the end of February, and ideally I wanted to take Scarlett with me so that we could do some 360 recordings, but it's that thing of balancing act, what's going to have to take the fall, and I think at that time probably not going to be able to take Scarlett, unfortunately, to do the filming that I wanted to do, because I'm going to an island, and I wanted to take the car, and we could have done some stuff, but hey ho, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. It just depends how quickly this all gets done and she passes an MOT again. But yeah, on the driving front, the 360 stuff, I know that I haven't put up much of that in the last 2 months or so. Reason being, I mean, look, it's horrible out there. What's the point in driving about in 360 when the lenses will get caked and all sorts of crap sitting outside on the roof? And realistically, you want to see, roads and countries at their best. You don't want to see them when it's like this, miserable, horrible. As much as I'm a realist and I enjoy making stuff for a laugh, yes, I might do the odd one where it's, something like that, but ideally, doing a 360 drive is therapy. So it's that thing of, yeah, let's make sure it's a nice enough day. I do want to start doing them again once Scarlett's back on the road. Of course I do. I enjoy doing them. I know it's not something that everyone likes to watch. Fair enough. I totally understand. There's many things out there that I don't enjoy that other people enjoy. That's the way of the world, isn't it? But yeah, I want to start doing those again, and I want to start going further afield. Obviously, I've kind of stayed quite central to near where I live, because the furthest flung one that we've done was up by Glencoe, and the only reason that we filmed that in 360 last year was because I was on holiday up there. And it made sense, and that was when the penny dropped for me, because we went and done what was it, the second best driving road according to Tourist Scotland. We went and done that one, and I'll be honest, it's about 80 miles or 90 miles one way and then 90 miles back again by the time, and then plus the actual doing the drive itself. So by the time I got there, done it, filmed it, all that, finished, come back again, it's late at night and I was absolutely knackered, and I thought, and that was probably the furthest away I've went so far, and you think, I'm going to have to start probably staying away to do filming sessions for 360s. So yeah, I'm not complaining. I want to do that. It'll be nice to do that. And I thought, well, if I'm going to start doing that, once we've explored Scotland in all her beauty, we can move on to other places like Ingerland and Wales, for example. Iris. I would enjoy going to the likes of Wales, for example, because it's very similar to Scotland. But yeah, that will all come back again. Some people like it, some people don't. I get it if you don't. Fair enough. If you do like it, thanks for watching them. I do enjoy making them, and the 360 stuff is cool as fuck. It really is. So yeah, we'll be doing that. Blown gasket session, that'll carry on as per usual. We'll do that at the end of every month, or as near as to the end of every month as I can manage to get it recorded. On the blown gasket session, if there's anything you want to ask, or anything that you want to get off your chest, then put it in the comments. Trust me, I don't care if it's even negative towards me or the channel or whatever. Put it in the comments and we'll discuss it. That's what the blown gasket session is for. If there's something you don't agree with that I've said, put it in and flag it up and I will talk about it, or I'll correct it. That's the whole idea of the blown gasket session. It's not just about me sitting there swearing for half an hour or whatever. It's whatever you want me to talk about as well, we'll put it in there. Or for example, we'll make a special out of it, like the one was another sub asked about the cyclists and made it into an entire video on its own. So yeah, please feel free to put it in the comments on this video or any video that you like, and I'll obviously mention it at the end of the month and we'll talk about whatever. So we'll keep doing those. I do want to do some sort of special spin-offs of that with things that obviously annoy me deeply. We'll need to bring that back. There's one topic in particular that needs to be readdressed. They are a certain club of people. We'll leave it at that. You'll know who it is straight away anyway, but yeah, we need to readdress that one in particular, because we have, it's been a while, and obviously I like to think my editing's gotten a bit better and the camera use and whatnot has got better, so yeah, we can do that one a bit better justice. But on that note, I think that's pretty much it for where we're going over 2022. Fingers crossed. Just check the list. Anything down here? Drive wise, 360s, staying away to film. Yeah, I'm going to start doing that. I definitely want to start doing that, because I would like to go down to England. Like, there's some places that are quite nice for driving apparently. I've never really driven in England other than, oh, never mind. But I have been to England, but it's for things that, not really driving this car or anything like that, you know, not going looking for some nice rural drives. I'd like to do that. Obviously Scotland's a must. There's all sorts of places, and at one point in the future we are going to do the NC 500. Trust me, it will happen. I'll make a week-long thing. We'll do vlogs, 360s and everything, but probably won't be this year. Might be like next year potentially. We'll see. Again, let's not plan that far ahead, but these are things that I really want to do when it comes to a driving point of view. So yeah, let's see what happens on that front. Apart from that though, the only other thing I want to talk about is you, the subscribers. I don't know why I went you like that. Woo! Woo! Yes, let's talk about you in there. Yeah, obviously over 2021 the channel went from 505 subs or something up to just over 600 in less than a year. So hey, delightful times. Thank you to everyone who had subscribed over the year, and of course everyone who was subscribed before that as well, and everyone who watches the videos and comments. Thank you very much. I genuinely sometimes, and this is total honesty, on my daughter's life, genuinely I have no idea how people can sit and watch me talk shit for so long. Or even find it amusing, because sometimes I think, oh god, I've gone too far. But then it ends up it's alright in the end, you know. But yeah, thank you. Genuinely, thank you very much. I wholeheartedly do appreciate it. I do sometimes think I should start pushing the channel more and more, and you know, let's try and build, but at the same time I don't, because I like the way it is. I like the fact that there is I like to think, hardcore group of people watch the videos and comment in that, and to all of you, thank you very much. It does spur me on, because there's times when I think I can't be bothered doing this. It's that old cliche that you see people on YouTube saying, you know, oh, I can't be bothered, but the subscribers got me through it. And it's true. It is true. It genuinely is true. I've experienced it now, where you think, oh fuck, I can't be bothered doing this. And then you'll see a comment that's been put on a video randomly by someone, and you just think, yeah, let's go and do something now. You know, it just kind of it makes you go, oh, shut up, get a grip of yourself, get on with it. In fact, there was something recently. It was what was I filming? It was the best drive that I've done this year. That was the video that I was going to do, and it was just someone left a comment, and it just made me kind of go, right, yes, I need to go out and get this filmed, because I'd been sitting on it for so long. But oh, the change of location. Yeah, unfortunately the camera died whilst I was filming the last couple of minutes of the video in Scarlet, so yeah, unfortunately I'm having to do it again. So yeah, basically just to say that is more or less it for the start of 2022's update. Coming up in the next couple of weeks, we'll get on with the mechanical videos, and then we'll have a blown gasket at the end of the month. Might be a couple of other things happening, but right now I've got a dinner to cook. So until the next one, I'll see you then. Bye.